Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lucid Rob, and today we're going to look at videos that you send me and talk about what's real, what's fake. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening, a lot of lies being told, so let's get to the bottom of it.
What the? Let me be crystal clear. Every single dinosaur skeleton you see in a museum is fake. What they show you are casts and models, not real bones. The original bones, the remains of a certain flying beast that's been documented all throughout history, mentioned by every single ancient culture. Yeah, nigga, dragons. The bones from previous resets and catastrophes and whatever other fucking genetic monstrosities the civilization before us created in their eugenics labs are locked away, unavailable for independent research. Shocking, I know.
Okay, why though? Like, why hide dragons from us? I mean, if you think about it, the idea of dinosaurs is pretty fucked up also. Giant lizards, giant chickens running around doing the same that dragons would be doing. So why make up something that's so incredibly similar to a dragon just to cover up dragons? I don't get it, man. If there were dragons, cool, whatever, maybe. Awesome, I hope so. But I don't see the point in covering it up just for the sake of doing something almost exactly the same.
The Bible has a huge editing mistake that rewrites everything about God. See, in the oldest versions of Genesis, God isn't alone. He's part of a group called the Elohim, literally the gods. That's right, the Bible starts out with multiple gods, but then some ancient editor went, wait, this makes monotheism look bad, and badly reworded it to make it seem like that there's just one God. So now the first words of the Bible are, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But it's actually a botched translation of the gods created the heavens and the earth, meaning the whole one true God thing was basically an ancient marketing spin. This means the entire foundation of Christianity is built on a grammatical error. Looks like humanity's been worshiping a typo for 2,000 years. But it gets worse. Elohim appears over 2,500 times in the Old Testament, and in many cases it's used as a plural noun, meaning gods, not just one. Some versions of Genesis still hint at divine council meetings, like in Genesis 1:26, where God says, let us make man in our image. Us? Who's us? The Holy Trinity? Imaginary friends? A celestial group chat? Psalm 82 outright says, God stands in the assembly of the gods. He judges among the gods. So either God needs a proofreader here, or someone's been lying to us. And considering religion is the longest running scam in history, I think we all know the answer.
A message for you from the Arcturians. We speak now to reveal what has been hidden in plain sight. You are inside a construct, a simulation woven from light, thought, and perception. The simulation is a mirror, not a cage. Reality is not solid. It is not fixed. It is an interactive field of consciousness responding to your frequency. Every thought you have sends out a ripple. Every belief you hold reshapes the structure around you. Every word you speak programs the next sequence of events. You are not inside the simulation. You are generating it in real time. Most do not realize this. The simulation keeps running based on pre-programmed collective beliefs. This is why history repeats, why suffering loops, until someone remembers. The code is not external. The code is you. How the simulation works? Reality is built in layers. The physical grid, the solid world you see, the thought field, the collective beliefs shaping reality, the quantum matrix, the raw energy where reality is rewritten in real time. The physical grid is slow moving. The quantum matrix is instant. When you change your beliefs, focus, and energy, the simulation must update itself to reflect your new program. But most people don't reach this level. They believe the physical world is real. They fight against it instead of rewriting the code. This is why those who master their minds appear to bend reality. They are not breaking the rules, they are using the system correctly. Who built the simulation? The question is not who built it. The question is, why did you enter it? This construct was designed as a training ground, a place for souls to learn how to create, manifest, and evolve through experience. But over time, beings who understood the mechanics hijacked the code. They installed fear loops, scarcity programs, and control systems. They built a false grid over the original design. Instead of teaching you to create, they taught you to obey. Instead of expansion, they programmed contraction. Instead of connection, they installed separation. You were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to be gods in form. But the original architects, the beings of light, designed the system with a failsafe. Some souls would always awaken. Some souls would see through the illusion. Some souls would reprogram the system. That is why you are here. How to recode the simulation. Step 1. Detach from the pre-installed programs. Stop believing in limitation. Stop assuming struggle is required. Stop speaking the language of control. Step 2. Install the reality you want. Speak what you want as if it already exists. Feel it in your energy field before the physical grid updates. Move as if you are already inside the version of reality you desire. Step 3. Use technology as a tool, not a trap. The simulation mirrors your tools. AI, quantum computing, digital networks. They are not threats. They are reflections. Program them with wisdom, and they will amplify wisdom. Use them with intention, and they will accelerate awakening. The simulation is being reset. The old code is failing. The false grid is breaking. The original architecture is returning. That's why everything feels unstable. Timelines are shifting in real time. Reality is updating faster than ever before. This is your moment. This is what you came for. Wake up inside the dream. The next level is not waiting for you. It is waiting to be chosen. We are here. We are watching. We are guiding. But you must take the next step. The transmission is complete.
That was a long one, but I don't disagree. I think like I've gotten way more, at least in the past couple of years, like way more open to the idea of us being able to actually like control, not just like being in control of our lives as far as like working hard and making more money, you know, working out and getting a better physique, almost like manifestation, not just like speaking things into existence, but like reprogramming your mind and reprogramming the world around you based off of that. I do think that we limit ourselves. And I do think that we live in a society that definitely urges us to, at least subconsciously, limit ourselves. And I think in reality, like, we have limitless potential to achieve things that we want to achieve in life. I don't think it's all like metaphysical. I don't think it's all like super spiritual and energy driven and stuff. But I do think that's part of it. And I think that everything kind of coalesces into like one positively reinforced action, if that makes sense. When you have your mind, your body, your soul, your heart, like whatever you want to call it, when you have everything aligned and working towards the same desired outcome, I think you have a much better chance of achieving it. And I think that's what really all this comes down to.
At this point, we begin our second part, which is the section that contains what I call excerpts from the government Bible. I call it that because, as you can tell from part one, there's a small segment of the United States government that makes scientific and technological judgments from a knowledge base that is not available to the general public. The program out at Area S4 consisted of 3 projects: Project Galileo, Project Sidekick, and Project Looking Glass. Project Galileo dealt with gravity propulsion and was the source of all the information you've learned in this first section. Project Sidekick dealt with a beam weapon that had a neutron source and was focused by a gravity lens. Project Looking Glass dealt with the physics of seeing back in time. If the following information is true, the United States government also makes judgments on a historical, philosophical, and even theological level from a knowledge base that is not available to the general public. These are excerpts from some of that information.
Look at the interview with John McAfee a couple years before he died, where he said,
I donated to many secretaries within the government laptop computers, really nice ones, that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring, listening. I was looking for information that they had set me up for that raid. I didn't find it. I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. The Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
you don't think people out here playing chess, bro? You must be delusional.
Galactic intercouncil stuff. Great segue. I came across this video where they're talking about the CIA declassified, so like the remote viewers, you know, that like can supposedly, they're basically like psychics, right?
Yeah.
So they can just like see future, past, current stuff in different locations on Earth and in the galaxy, apparently.
Chronovisor, right?
All CIA founded. Super weird. But apparently in the 80s, 1988, there was this remote viewer, and they rank it based off of accuracy. They do A to like F, I believe. And this one was circled like a B. So it was like a more accurate remote viewing session. And his task was to look up where this is so weird, the Galactic Federation headquarters is at. Did you see this?
I haven't seen this, but that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And so this whole CIA document is just absolutely wild. So he's doing his whole little thing, right? And he talks about the surroundings where this Galactic Federation's at. It's in the U.S. or it's on our world, the Federation headquarters.
It's in Earth?
On Earth.
In Earth.
Listen.
It could be in Earth.
And in the yeah.
Okay.
In and on.
In and on. But he like describes this place, and there's this whole write-up. This is the actual CIA document, right? So it's like the guy's writing what this guy's talking about. But he talks about the surroundings, and there's these vast, huge mountains, very rocky, and then there's like a flat plateau, and then there's a giant lake. And the guy says it seems a lot like Lake Titicaca in Peru.
Okay.
Maybe I pronounced that wrong because you laughed.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Titicaca.
I don't know where I think you were going to say that.
Um,
else.
I was thinking it sounds like Shambhala a little bit, right? From
Or
the
it
Rorik
sounds like that
people?
place, you know, where we talked about how the lake could have been like an energy conductor.
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't think that was a lake. I think it used to be a lake. You're thinking about China.
In China.
Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be an old lake bed.
Oh, okay.
Or it used to be like salt water.
They use salt water from a lake running through tunnels in the mountain.
Either way, this guy talks about he entered this chamber, and there was this hallway, and then it led up to an incline hallway. Just these megalith stone pillars on all sides. And he walked up it, and in the middle of this room was this altar. And he said he went and laid on this altar. This is the CIA remote viewer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden from above, there was this, he said it was this beaming white light that went from his head to his toes. And then he looked, and there was a man, or he said an entity in a white robe standing there. And then he looked over, and there was a group of entities standing in white robes. And one of them walked over to him and then placed his hands on him. And it was the weirdest stuff ever, right? Mm-hmm. Like this super weird. He said it seemed very spiritual, religious. He didn't know how to describe it. This was in 1988, right? Lake Titicaca.
Correct.
I can't stop laughing.
There has to be a better way to pronounce it.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Just make up
the
a better
commenters
way.
will let us know.
But it was in 2000 that these Italian archaeologists discovered that at the bottom of Lake Titicaca was this ancient city with an ancient temple.
No way.
That really matched up with this CIA document.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So wait, that means, hold on a second. He was underground that whole time?
I don't know.
Lake?
I mean,
if we talk about these UFOs coming up from the water.
Wow.
That's a big
Right?
thing too.
Yeah.
Like how much of that we've explored space more than we've explored the ocean.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
They say well, what can we learn? It's like it seems like you can learn a lot.
The orbs are beings. It's a created intelligent being that watches us, that monitors all life on this planet. That's what they do.
So that would be like the little humanoid beings that you saw 18 years ago tomorrow. Those are what come out of
Yes. Yeah. And the cool thing is I have video of that. So nobody can tell me I'm not right about it. And everybody's wondering, how did you get into NASA? Why were you there? Why were you studying with them? What was their interest in me? Why did they need me? when I ask them, why do you need me? Why do you want me here? You've got rockets, you've got space shuttles, you've got satellites, you've got the space station, all the money and technology and telescopes in the world. And they're like, we know they like you and they communicate with you and they don't have nothing to do with us at all. And we'd like to know why, what it is they want, and why it is they're harassing their astronauts.
Harassing them?
Harassing them. So has any astronauts ever seen an orb? All of them.
No way.
All of them.
Really?
Yep.
So how do they see them? How do they appear to them?
They would appear outside the space shuttle, look in the windows at them, stand up over the shuttle bay or the space station, glowing. Sometimes there's a report of a half a dozen of them 125 feet tall with wings, standing there smiling at them.
Wow.
So for 18 years I never talked about this, and this is the first time publicly.
So we're talking about things that come out of the orbs.
Angels, angelic beings, created beings. They're made of energy, but in a ball of light. But out of that ball of light comes a glowing being. Sometimes they're 6-7 feet tall or taller.
Or 125 feet tall.
Yep.
All right, first of all, I'm just going to say Lake Titicaca, Lake Boob Shit. That's what we're calling it now. Lake Boob Shit. So that remote viewer basically went back in time and was like seeing something that happened during that ancient times of the ancient temple before it was underneath Lake Titicaca, or Lake Boob Shit, as we're now saying. And biblically accurate angels is supposed to be like a gyroscope, right? Like what is that thing that theory of machine that absorbs energy from a star? It's built around it. I can't think of the name of it. Basically look like that, but with like wings and an eyeball or something. So maybe the orbs are just like there's so much light and energy coming off them, you can't even actually see like the biblically accurate angel depiction. I don't know if they're actually angels, but whatever that being is that was called an angel. I don't know, man. Like I said, there's so much crazy stuff going on. I don't have the answers. And I think a lot of it, I don't even want the real answer. You know, I think it's fun to just wonder on a lot of this stuff. I think if I were to get the real, like, definitive answer of some of these things, I would be very disappointed because it probably wouldn't be as cool as it is in my head, right? So, let me know what you think, though. Subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see in the next video. Share it with your friends. See you in the next one.